which element do you think is the most important in business? Building system or hiring employees? You can actually run a business without even hiring any employees. If you think about that, then you already know what the answer is. So, which means the most important thing in business, well, the more important thing in business, if we compare building a system or hiring employees, it's definitely building a system. So when you have the system, even if you are alone, then you can become more efficient, you can become more productive, etc., etc. And nowadays, there's so many software tools out there, like automate things. You can automate email marketing, you can automate, social media posting, you can automate a lot of things, even connecting, lead generation to email marketing. You can order, accepting order and processing order. This can all be automated. So as long as you have a very good system, then it is possible not to hire any employees. But if you don't have a very good system, but you start hiring employees, then you might run into problems, and you might run into inefficiency issues with your employees. And so you start off with system. And when I say it, it sounds so easy, and it can be for some people, but not everyone has a systematic mind, right? So if you can, seek out support so that someone can help you develop all these systems, because some people are very good at it. I know I am someone who is challenged by this, because I like doing things. I like feeling things and doing things before I see results. So systems is definitely something that I take effort in order to do, because I would rather just do things than, sit down and create systems. But there are people who are very good at it for sure. So yeah, the answer to this is build a system. So if you can build a system first, even if it's a simple one, then you are already ahead of other people. What are the 5 core values of your business? Let me explain first what are values. So values are the things that are important to us as the business owner or the founders. This is the most important thing for us. So what we did, because there's 3 of us, and so I have 2 businesses right now. So one business is in partnership with 2 other people, and then one business is by myself. I'll talk about the business with partnership first. So what we did when we started that business is that we sat down and we asked each other, so what are our individual values? So, like, oh, Jovan, what's important to you about this business? And so then we listed it down, and then the next person, what is important to you about this business? Then we listed it down, and then the third person, what is important to you? So that is the main question, right? So what is important to you about this business? And then from there, from the list, then we saw some similarities. So we called that alignment, right? So we were aligned about those values. And I can clearly remember, so one of those values is helping people. That is for the same for everyone. And then the second is integrity. So all the 3 of us have integrity. And then the third is having fun. So we all want to do business and have fun at the same time. So what did I say? Okay, so first one was helping people. Then second was integrity. Third is having fun. And then fourth, compassion. Compassion in a sense that we want to operate in this world as a business wherein we are very aware of who the people that we need to help. That compassion, that kind of value. And I have to say, I don't remember the fifth one. So those are the 4 values that I have for the business. If I remember the fifth one, I'll try and repeat that later on. Made me think about it again for this business. But that's kind of like how our process went. Is we aligned it first, and then after we saw the same values, we listed it down, and then we asked each other what kind of values do we want to add into it. Do you have a life principle, and what is it? I have a life principle. I have many life principles. I think because as human beings, we are multifaceted. You know, like we are not one-dimensional being. And so, what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, you take the wheel of life, right? So the wheel of life is a very simple representation of what are the specific facets of or areas of life that we have. And the wheel of life can be as simple as, you know, maybe 6 facets, or maybe some wheel of life can be as many as 8 to 10. But the wheel of life can represent, for example, an area of your career, an area of your relationship, an area of your, for example, spiritual growth, an area of your personal development, an area of your, what else? Health, so forth and so on. So this wheel of life actually shows that we are multifaceted beings. And so it's good to have multiple life principles as well. With that, what is one or two life principles that I have? And one of them is really something that I live by, that I learned from Money and You. And ever since I learned this in 2013, it has really became a foundation. So this principle became kind of like a belief, right? So, and that is, for things to change, first I must change. So let me repeat that. And I can type it in as well. For things to change, first I must change. So that is a life principle that I have. I really, one thing, I fell in love with it. So when I really got this, that nothing is gonna change in my life until I change, and that's it. Like there's no other explanation to it. You know, there's no excuses. It's really up to me. So whatever is happening in my life right now, whatever is happening, you know, the people that are around in my life, if I want to change something, then it must be me. I need to change. That's so powerful when I really, took it on and lived in that principle. And of course, sometimes I forget. I actually like still don't do that from time to time. But when it becomes kind of like a principle, when it becomes kind of like a belief, you always go back to it. You know, it becomes kind of like your foundation, where you stand. And yes, sometimes you might forget, and then when you fall into that foundation, that's the beauty of having those kind of principles, those kind of beliefs, because when you fall, that's the thing that will catch you. And a very good example of that is my entrepreneurship journey, or my entrepreneurial journey is quite challenging at times, right? And there'll be times that I would really ask, myself, the universe, God, like, oh my God, like, what should I do? Like, I don't know what to do anymore. It almost, I'm giving up. And when it came to that point that, there's nothing left, then I fell back into this principle, right? Which is, for things to change, first I must change. And so that's kind of like what I do every single time, is that if I want to change anything, my environment, my results in life, whatever is happening right now, then I need to change. And that's basically it. So it's not about complaining, it's not about blaming other people, it's about justifying, it's just taking responsibility and changing my life. And that's kind of like, one of the biggest principle that I have took on. And then another one that is, while I'm sharing, is popping up, is actually in integrity. The full principle is, integrity is the essence of everything. When I talk about integrity, it's not the morality, it's not about the ethics, it's not about that. So integrity is being aligned with your thoughts, your words, and your action, that kind of integrity. So if I want to be successful, I need to align all these three. I need to be able to tell myself, yes, I am integrity in terms of my thoughts, my words, and my action. And so that's the second principle that I always kind of like follow. Try and always to follow.
Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.